because as a female boxer myself, I inspired to her. She's like the first female boxer to win Olympic gold title. She's still defending her title. She turned pro only recently. She's only 34, so she gives me hope that I can hopefully do a fight one day. But yeah, she represents female boxers. She inspires me because, you know, for female boxers, a lot of people do see it as, oh, it's only for guys. But with Nicola, she's obviously proven that no, a female can go in there and win a gold title. She's still defending it. She's now been chosen as an undercard for like the Canelo fight, which is in America. So she's definitely making movements, and it just gives us females and hopefully the younger females that they can choose boxing as a professional career.
Maya Angelou, because she went through a lot and she still had her decency, dignity and respect for human beings, and that's why I like her.
It's Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. He was one of the pioneer fighters for independence for Nigeria. In the early 50s, we got the independence in 1960.
Robert Nesta Marley, also known as Bob Marley, and this is a man who, even though he wasn't very highly educated, and he comes from a background where there are particular connotations or generalization, and yet he made inspiring music. Particularly, if you listen to his lyrics, they are extremely inspiring. And if you think about it, that this is a man that wasn't very educated. I think that's amazing. His impact cuts across all ethnic backgrounds, across the whole world. And therefore, there you go, it's my hero.
Okay, my example of black excellence is Oprah Winfrey, because I think that she's an amazing woman. She inspires me in the way that she reinvents herself over time. She came from very poor, humble beginnings, and had kind of conquered adversity to becoming a really amazing woman, very influential. She's also, you know, supporting great charities and giving money. She practices what she preaches, basically, and that's why I believe that she's a really great example for not only for women, for black women, and she champions all causes as well.
My example of black excellence is my mother, and the reason why is because she was a strong black woman in the 60s that brought up 5 children on her own. We went without, and I think she made me become the person that I am, a very strong black individual woman, and it made me know who I was from a very young age.
Someone that represents black excellence is Mary McLeod Matthew, and she was the first black woman to open up a private school for Afro-Caribbean young people. And for me that was really important because she understood why education was so important, and for me that's something that I've always held on to, the importance of education, and that education should be available to anyone no matter what colour they are.
My example of black excellence points to my father, who's no longer with us. He set a mighty example for me as a young girl growing up, in which he showed how to love and to respect a woman, and that woman was my mother. And because of his discretion, even when they had disagreements, and his faithfulness, his loyalty, it showed me and gave me inspiration of what to look for in a good man. And I think a lot of us as women could learn from good examples from men that are gentlemen, and I find this is lacking these days, but I hold my father very dear. He was a gentleman, a man of principle, a man of great worth, and a man that knew how to love and to respect one another, and that was my father.
My example of black excellence is Martin Luther King. He was a very good man. He helped black people so much for them to be who they are.
My example of black excellence would be Khalif Broda. The reason why is because he was a successful person in terms of the resources that he had. He was accused for a crime that he didn't do. He was incarcerated for about 3 years. It did damage him, it did change him, he had mental difficulties that he didn't have. So he entered into that system as myself, fine, able to do things, and it broke him. However, as soon as he came out, he managed to be doing his university, getting into college, passing his courses and etc. And he became an excellent student and he was becoming a role model.
My example of black excellence would have to be Muhammad Ali. I'm not particularly into boxing, but I think it's undisputed that he was excellent at what he did. Not only that, he also used his social platform to speak out against injustice, and he also attempted to raise his community as well as himself. I think the reason that he also inspires me is because he didn't have any fear in his heart when speaking about the truth and about speaking about issues that were uncomfortable for other people. And he was also very good at recognising his own personal power when it came to influencing the people around him.
My example of black excellence would be Nelson Mandela. That's because of his patience and his trials through adversity to get to where he got to. So from being a freedom fighter to becoming the president of South Africa. So that is a pretty big deal.
I think mine has to be Marcus Garvey. He was one of the Jamaica's founding fathers, also one of the Jamaican national heroes, and he was responsible for the movement back in the day, of course, and the empowerment of black people in terms of equal rights and just general empowerment of people of the black race. So, it's very, very influential then, still is today. So yeah,
an example of black excellence is Muta Baruka, actually known as Alan Hope, and his name from the Rwandan language means one who is always victorious. He inspires me because he is a part of all the arts I love, such as music, presenting, acting, spiritualist, journalism. He's a great historian and a purveyor in African spirituality and a freedom fighter looking into African and Caribbean culture as to be cherished, aspired to, and also to be championed. It's about unity and strength.
My example of black excellence is a young lady I've only come across only last week in a magazine, and her name is Keris Rogers and she's 10 years old. She inspires me because at 6 years old she was actually bullied at school for her skin colour. And then what she's done together with an older sister is to actually start a business called Flexing in My Complexion. And she started off with a t-shirt range, and I believe she's opening up to a clothing line and an online campaign, which is an anti-bullying campaign.